for them to see that the Lord Most High has sent a prophet that is splitting the moon. A technology that none of the aliens have. A technology so grand to separate a moon in half and put it back, greater than any of the technologies that the Westerners have learned from the alien races. Therein, that is a sign. If you're a UFO buff or somebody who has just happened to listen to the story and doesn't know what I'm talking about, go to the beginning of the story and listen to it, because you'll know what I'm saying is so blatantly true beyond any conspiracy story. This isn't a fracking X-File! This is the truth. I'm trying to laugh because it is so humorous. Excuse me if I seem dramatic, but you realize now what I'm talking about. And so a few little bits of information so we can tell you very clearly what we know exactly. And this isn't going to be a whole conversation about the jinn or the alien races, because I must ask you a very simple question. O sons of Adam, remember the fundamental. What is that? There's only one God. La ilaha illallah. The truth must be known of the light. Allah, the Most High, the God, is the light. And anybody who speaks the truth is just shining that light upon you a little bit. And the truth of the story of the fundamentals we have told, that God created angels and jinns. Wow, that's a trip, now that we understand what jinns are. And God would send prophets speaking the word of God in succession, and they must come to an end. And Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, was the last one, bearing the light. And you were breathed of the soul, and you shall die. And you will be raised and judged by the only judge, the Lord Most High, the one who created you and me, and all of the other races, and all of the other beings, and all that is alive on the earth is created by God, as we have seen and described in the story. God, the Most High, is the only one who gives life and takes life. Except for the miracles that we have talked about by the will of the Lord. And we have seen the signs and described the tales. And so I must ask you this question, O children of Adam, if you've understood the story that I told you from the beginning, that we are in an eternal battle, a galactic struggle between the light and the dark. And that the sons of Adam, all of us, on this planet, none of our petty differences, none of our issues are more important than this. And if you've ever understood the story, and if I told you the promise that the truth would be made real to you, then it must answer all of these feelings. And you must know, as I'm telling you the story of the truth, that it is true that none of the conflicts between man are now significant, because we are in a battle that is so much greater than this. Light versus darkness. But so I'm going to continue to tell you a few of the things before I ask you the question. Well, let's just ask you the question. We said, as Adam taught us, remember the very first lesson. The world around you is filled with darkness, and there will always be deception, and they will always lie to you about the truth of God. That is the first lesson the sons of Adam were supposed to have learned. And as I promised you, as someone who's telling you the story of the truth, I will never lie to you about God, because that goes against the very first lesson. And no one who claims to be a bearer of the truth can lie about God, because that is the evil of the darkness from the very first moment of this battle. But we have continued to say that in this struggle, there is deception and misdirection. Now, as I'm telling you the tale, and it has gotten this strange, and I'm telling you the truth about UFOs and the truth of the mysteries of the darkness, and it explains all the occult magic and witch and tarot and astronomy and all the other pseudosciences of witchcraft and the believing in spirits and morphing jinns and howling werewolves and all kinds of strange tales from the beginning of man till now. If you understood the story that I'm telling you, you will understand that all of this was always there to deceive you from the one true light, which has always been that there's only one God, and Satan is not a fictional character. He's the leader of the alien race who is at war with you, O sons of Adam. And so I ask you the ultimate question. If any person who finally tells you the truth of the story, then they tell you the weirdest part of the story, that I am revealing to you right now, that everything that we have thought about what is going on in the universe is not true, and that we have been lied to, and this is the strangest thing you have ever heard, that there are other interdimensional beings made of smokeless fire, and that there are other races, and the Muslims for 1500 years have known of this, as all the prophets of the light, as God is most just. He told every single one of them the fundamentals of faith. And the story will get so much more of a trip that you cannot believe that we have gotten this far, but we are going to go further. Because I've told you the story of the truth is always greater than you can imagine, but the deception is always incredible. Can you believe all the deception? So I have to ask you the question right now. Is it more unbelievable in the story that I have told you that you didn't know the truth about all the other alien races or jinns and their abilities and their natures and their ability to control things and move things and their ability to mess with the forces and elements of this world and gravity and darkness and escaping from the light? And as I speak all these things, everything from science and everything from knowledge must confirm every part of my story. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an astronomer. I don't know anything about space or flying craft or aeronautics. I don't know any of that stuff, I swear to God. I'm clueless on any of the sciences. I studied the words, and all I've ever studied was the words. And so there in the word must be the answer to the truth that the prophet told us very clearly, that these other beings exist, and we've known about their existence and how they work and what they do. But my question to you, O sons of Adam, or anyone who is listening to this message, of all of Allah's creation, is it more of a deception or more strange to you that you have been lied to about all these things of the truth that you have always wondered? Is it more surprising to you, all the strange tales that I'm telling, that you have always wondered what is the answer to all these strange mysteries of the universe? Is now knowing that truth more amazing than the fact then you have been deceived about the truth of the light? Knowing all about what is going on in the darkness, is that more important than understanding the truth of the light? If you've understood the story, then you know that anything goes on with the armies of darkness and the powerful jinns and any of the abilities that humans ever tried to get from manipulating or using the knowledge or technology of any of the races can never be greater than the story of understanding and the truth of the light. And every messenger has come to tell you that. More powerful than anything else in the universe is always the Word of God. This is the most powerful thing in the universe. The Word of God. The having and speaking of the light is greater than any alien jinn power or technology or superpower or morphing ability. It is the word of the Lord Most High, and the fundamental is the same. La ilaha illallah. There's only one God. We do not worship any false spirits, jinns, symbols, triangles. Nothing can imitate God. He is the Most High.